Story 1. Am I the for giving my stepdad a sign that says you are not the father during Christmas dinner? My mom and stepdad have been together since I was 5, married since I was 6, and I'm now 20. My dad died when I was 5. He and mom were separated but not divorced when he passed away, and mom started dating my stepdad a few weeks later. I met him about 5 months after my dad died, and he moved in with us after a year, and they married 14 months after that. My mom really wanted me to have a dad and found my stepdad a good partner and someone who could be a good dad to me. Only I never wanted another dad. So, I always called him by his first name and refer to him as my stepdad. He and I have butted heads over this a lot. He thinks I should be his daddy's little girl. I think it's crazy that he feels I owe him that and owed him from the start. It annoys me how often he likes to bring up that my dad's dead and the fact I hardly remember him, because a lot of my memories faded with time, and when I was 7 my grandpa died, who raised my dad after my grandma died when dad was a baby. So, I lost all contact with that side. The older I get, the worse it gets, and even with 3 boys, he's still focused on me being his little girl. I have told him that I appreciate him, but I won't ever call him dad. I spent a lot of time with mom's parents as a kid and have a bedroom at their house. We had Christmas at their house this year, and all morning my stepdad was bringing up these stories of adult stepkids asking stepparents to adopt them and on, and told me I would be asking him soon enough after all these years. He found this article on FB about a woman asking her stepmom to adopt her, where she talked about it being insulting to call her stepmom, because she was always a mom to her. He said that was him with me, how I only ever had him as a dad, etc. It got on my nerves. I told him to stop, so did Grandma, who told him nobody wanted to hear about that at Christmas. But he would not let up. So, I went up to my room at my grandparents', grabbed some old art supplies I still had there, and made a sign that said Jason, stepdad's name, you are not the father of Gracie, me. Think the Maury Show and how that was like a meme for a while. When dinner was ready, I brought down the sign and gave it to him and told him whenever he needs to remember, he can look at it and adjust his expectations. He was pissed. My grandparents and half-brothers laughed. The oldest of my brothers actually said his dad needed something like that because he never seemed to understand it. My mom tried to calm him down, but he told me I was an ungrateful and disrespectful little girl who would be sad when he finally gives up caring about me. I told him I never asked him to be a dick to me, but to accept I will never call him dad and will never allow him to adopt me. I told him we could be close if he'd just accept, I don't see him as my dad. My mom wants me to apologize, but my grandparents think he should apologize for always pushing. Am I the Story 2. Am I the for bringing up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? I am a nurse practitioner, and I am the primary care provider for a lot of the low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work hand in hand with the doctors and midwives to create a healthy maternity, birth, and postpartum situation. My fiancée is completing her residency. We live together and have for a few years now. We aren't in any hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple of years ago, but then we got really busy for 2 years. It is driving my very religious parents crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I don't really care. I'm an adult and I do what I want. We are getting married in June. So, we are visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it came together this year, everyone is at my parents' house. So that's my folks, my 3 siblings, myself and fiancé, and 7 grandchildren. So, 17 people. At dinner my mom starts going on about how she is so glad that we are finally getting married, and she won't be embarrassed at church anymore. And my dad says how proud he is of his 3 older kids who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right away after moving in together. My fiancé was getting embarrassed, and I was getting mad over this stupid argument we have had too many times. And a family dinner was the last straw. I have asked them repeatedly to just accept that they cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So, I started talking about a premature baby I had been reading about. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed about 1.6 pounds. It was super strong and healthy for being born so little, and the NICU had high hopes for the baby doing well. My mom and dad both got deer in the headlights looks on their faces. Too bad. Should not have kept up around with my fiancé's feelings. So, I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album where we keep all the records of family births and stuff? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. The subject gets changed very fast. After supper, my parents told me that I should not try to embarrass them with private things that are not my concern. I told them that if I heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her second trimester when they got married. My parents are mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home. But my fiancé is happy that they seem to be off the subject for good. Am I the AH? Story 3, Ida for telling my Sil to mind her own business and that my daughter's name was nothing to do with her. My husband and I spent Christmas with his whole family at his parents' house. We had a great time except for one thing. My oldest Sil. She's the oldest in my husband's family and apparently, she's the most outspoken. She sat down next to me while I was taking a small break with my daughter in another room and started going in on how her name is not a real name, how Indy is made up and will leave her without good options as an adult, how juvenile it sounds, and all other kinds of insults. I asked her if she could not bring it up because my husband and I were happy with her name and we trusted we chose a good name for her. She did not let up and I wasn't ready to move yet, so I ended up telling her to mind her own business and how my daughter's name was nothing to do with her. She started yelling loud enough for the rest of the family to overhear. My husband came in and asked what the hell was going on, and when he figured it out, he told her to leave me alone. The rest of the family all said there were better things to talk about over Christmas and told Sil she should be doing something else. Sil stayed mad the rest of the day, and after we got home, she told me everyone hates the name we chose, nobody else wants to say anything though. I responded that I already knew and appreciated them not voicing it to us. My husband saw she was texting me and told her to grow up and focus on her own kids. She said to both of us that I was too rude to her and acted like she wasn't our daughter's aunt, which I never said. But I feel bad that the blow-up happened because of what I said. Am I the AH? Story 4, am I the AH for agreeing with my family's unhappiness about my cousin's pregnancy? My 31F, younger cousin, 28F, recently found out she is pregnant. She is really excited. But, she found out she is having triplets. The dad, 45 meters, is a real piece of work and won't be in the picture, and can't offer financial support. She doesn't make very much money and she has no savings. I myself have 2 kids, and even with the financial and emotional support of my partner, it can be very stressful. Over the past few weeks, I've gently tried to tell her that it may not be green pastures ahead. She doesn't even have a functional car right now. It's like her head is stuck in the sand and she's only talking about how amazing it will be, how blessed she is, how it's a miracle, how she'll just figure it out. On Christmas Eve, she surprised the rest of the family with the news after doing a big surprise scavenger hunt that led to 3 onesies. Her mom already knew but told grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, etc. She didn't get the reaction she was hoping for. Some people told her she should consider her options like adoption or abortion, even though some are very conservative and pro-life. Some talked to her about how hard this will be, asked about how she will afford this, wanted to know what support the dad would be giving, etc. It was not very celebratory. I could tell she was upset, and she left early. I went to talk to her this morning in her studio apartment. I told her I was sorry for everyone's reaction, but that I could see where the family was coming from and that they just wanted the best for her and were concerned. I asked her what she expected the reaction to be, and she told me she thought everyone would rally together to help her now and offer a bunch of help once the babies arrived. She expected financial support too. I told her that she can't rely on others like that and she will likely have to figure a lot of this out on her own if she goes through with it. She told me that I'm horrible, that our family is terrible, and that we all deserve each other, and that unless she gets our support, she'll cut us all out. Then she told me to leave. In some ways I think it is a reality check, but the more I think about it, I also know how overwhelming it is to be pregnant, and I am sorry that she didn't get any happy reactions or offers of support. Especially because in the past, other family members have gotten very happy family reactions when sharing their pregnancies. Am I the AH for agreeing with the rest of our family?